Is there anybody in the orchestra who played on the original Jaws score with Johnny Williams? Can you stand up, please? We can give you a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you. Well, because I didn't come prepared in 1974 to make Jaws, or not prepared well enough, I decided to risk it again and not come prepared with any remarks today to talk to you about. So I'm empty-handed, except with a collection of memories stimulated just in the last hour and a half by walking through the exhibition that they have so ingeniously assembled from the archives of collectors all over the world who somehow knew something that I didn't know. I mean, why would anybody, when we shot the opening scene of Chrissy Watkins being taken by the shark, and we had a buoy floating in the water, how did anybody know to take the buoy and take it home and sit on it for 50 years and then loan it to the Academy? How did they know? I didn't know. I thought my career was virtually over halfway through production on Jaws because everybody was saying to me, you are never going to get hired again. This film is way over budget and way over schedule, and you are a real liability as a director, and you are not going to get hired again. So I really thought that I better give this my all because I'm not working in the industry again after they see the movie. And fortunately, fortune smiled on us. But I also think that because the film was really not. I didn't intend to make a shark movie. I intended to tell the story about these three polar opposites: Quint, Brody, Hooper, and also Mayor Vaughn. And so the whole philosophy for me was to start with the characters and then let the shark and the suspense created by what was unknown underwater and what was going to be the difference between life and death for these three survivors. And because I think I intended, and the actors certainly collaborated in intending this to be a movie about character, not just about an iconic shark, that we were starting in the right way. What we didn't know, what I didn't know, because I was 26 years old and had just made one movie before for the producers, Richard Zanuck and David Brown, called The Sugarland Express. And before that, I had done Duel, which was considered to be a TV movie in this country, but a feature film overseas where it was released in theaters. I just really was not ready to endure the amount of obstacles that were thrown in our path, starting with Mother Nature. I really thought my hubris was we could take a Hollywood crew, go out 12 miles out into the Atlantic Ocean and shoot an entire movie with a mechanical shark. I thought that was going to go swimmingly. And I had really no idea that the second you tempt Mother Nature and tempt fate, everything starts to conspire against you and us. And it was what you've read about and what the exhibition kind of suggests. This was a real exercise in hubris and futility, but because all of us never wanted to quit, and that was the whole reason we finished the movie. I was offered actually several times a chance to gracefully bow out of the film, not to be replaced by another director, but for the film to be shut down. And when we were about 110 days, when we were close to 90 days over schedule, think about that, 90 days over schedule. As it turns out, the film was 100 days over schedule. We shot 158 days, but nobody wanted to quit. Nobody wanted to stop. One of the biggest questions the crew kept asking me, and every week I'd have 5 or 6 people come over to me to say, I have children, I have dependents, I haven't seen them, I haven't seen my family, I've been here for 5 months. Just give me an incentive to keep working on your movie. Give me a date, a guarantee of when you're going to wrap. And I didn't know when we were going to wrap until 2 weeks before we wrapped on Martha's Vineyard. That's how little control we had over, the shark the weather, the currents, the regattas. I cannot tell you how nerve-wracking it is to get the cameras in position. The tides are slack. We don't have currents dragging our anchors, where the picture boat moves away from the orca, moves away from the electrical barge, and we finally are ready to shoot. Everybody's ready, and all of a sudden the first white sail appears on the horizon. Followed by another one, followed by 25 white sails, little regattas going through frame. Now this was 1974. We couldn't just give it to ILM to remove digitally the sails from the horizon. I had to take a calculated risk. The experts said it's going to take 1 hour and 20 minutes for the sails to clear the Panavision wide screen. So you can either change your lens and go a little tighter, then it's only a 45-minute wait. But if you want to shoot that wide, it's going to be close to 1.5 hours wait. Or we can pick up anchor and we can move the whole shot over here. And I would ask, well, how long is it going to take to pick up anchors on 5 barges? Well, that could take 2.5 hours. So most of the time, we just waited. People played cards. A lot of people vomited because it was in the people are going, I've never seen so much vomit in my life. I haven't. In the 6 months out to sea, I have never seen so many people getting sick. For some reason, I never got seasick, and I think that is only because I had the weight of this production on my shoulders, and I didn't have time to get sick. But we finally got through this thing, and what got all of us through it was being in the company of each other. That was the key that got us through it. The camaraderie that happens when you're just trying to survive something, it brought all of us closer together. I've never been closer to a crew or a cast, until many years later. But this was the ultimate example that when you work as a team, you can actually get the ball across the finish line. And we did, and I'm very proud of the movie. The film certainly cost me a pound of flesh, but gave me a ton of career. And the success of the movie gave me a chance to make any movie I wanted to make after that. And Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which I made after Jaws, would not have been made had Jaws not been successful, because nobody wanted to make it even before Jaws. And the second Jaws came out, everybody wanted to make my UFO movie. And so it really gave me a career, which I'll never forget. And I'll never forget my lawyer and his sense of humor allowing me to call the shark after him, Bruce Raymer. And the fact that now, 51 years after the production and 50 years after it was released, people have a chance between now and July to come here to the Academy Museum and live for the first time some of the experiences I'm trying to relive for you here this morning. And I'm just so proud of the work they've done. What they've put together here, this exhibition, is just awesome. Every room, has the minutia of how this picture got together, and proves that this motion picture industry is really, truly a collaborative art form. No place for auteurs. This is an art form that only survives based on getting the best people in all the right positions, and it's a collaborative medium, and I am so proud to be part of it, and so proud, thank you, Bill Kramer, to be part of this museum. So thank you so very much for being here today. Thank you.